Hey guys, what is up? So I've been playing Demoniaca Everlasting Night, which just released on consoles, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. Now this is a very dark and adult Metroidvania. As the story goes, the main character's village was destroyed by demons. Her body lay torn open on the ground. With hers and demon blood mixing together, she stitches herself up and finds that she has absorbed some of the demon's powers. She sets off to have her revenge on the demons that destroyed her village. There are two main difficulties to choose from, easy and classic. Now I couldn't really tell the difference between the two, but I'm sure it's probably because I tend to overlevel my character regardless of the difficulty I play on. And yes, you do earn experience and can level up your character to get stronger. As for trophies and achievements, you can play on either difficulty level, it won't matter, and most of them are accumulative, so they don't require you to finish the game in order to get the platinum trophy. It's just things like open X number of chests, absorb X number of souls, and so on. Now the first thing I noticed when I jumped into the game, well, besides the obvious Castlevania vibe we get as she charges her way in, is that the main character feels like she is from a fighting game. I swear they must have used King of Fighters sprite sheets for reference. I can see some of that style showing through. Now because of this, some of the combat can feel a little clunky sometimes. It's not terrible, it's just not as graceful and flowing as something like Symphony of the Night, since most of your attacks will stop you dead in your tracks. But there is a wide range of moves to unlock. As you can see here, I've unlocked quite a bit, but there is still more to go. Now all of these moves can be both helpful and satisfying to execute. And there is a wide range of items and equipment to collect too. Each time you earn enough experience points to level up, you'll be awarded a skill point, which you can then drop into any of your four main stats: attack power, defense, intelligence, or luck. Aside from experience, you'll also collect souls from defeating enemies and breaking objects, and this is basically your main currency in the game, which can then be used to buy unique or rare items from Lollipop's shop. I mean, if you don't see anything you like here, then I don't know what to tell you other than that you can also use souls to unlock new moves at Boxman's shop and more. There is also a secondary form of currency that you get by recycling the items you don't need anymore. Unfortunately, all of the inventory space that you see here is all you get, so you don't have multiple pages of this, so when that starts getting full, you'll need to recycle items down to dust. If you're running short on items to break down for dust, then be sure to track down Ebony, who runs a shop that will convert your extra souls into dust. So if Lollipop has nothing to catch your fancy, then maybe Gas has the right tool for the job. He will sell unique and rare items for dust, that secondary currency we were talking about. Now things can get pretty crazy when you start collecting more powerful items and equipment. I've heard you can stack health regeneration items until you are almost invincible, but I have yet to make it that far. Aside from getting items that can increase your stats and regenerative effects, you also have items that can improve your map screen by displaying enemies, secrets, or just a larger area in general. There are also a few rare item sets that will enable extra stats when you equip everything from that set. One thing I really love about this game is just how many secret areas there are and things to collect. I feel like I'm always trying to unravel some mystery everywhere I go. Every once in a while, you'll stumble on a consumable item that can increase certain stats permanently. I love finding these. Otherwise, there are also consumables for healing, adding to your mana pool, and curing status effects. But you can also learn special moves to perform these functions as well. Now, speaking of status effects, there are the usual ones like Poison, Confusion, Petrify, but there are also some really wild ones too, like this retro status effect that changes the way the game looks temporarily. You can see the map is rather sprawling, very much like a typical Metroidvania. There are multiple ways to reach each area of the map, and you'll want to do some backtracking as you unlock new moves, like the double jump, for instance, which will let you reach new heights. But also there are some doors that have numbers on them. When you see this, you need to hit that door with an attack as strong as the number written on the door in order to break it down. I was actually able to get through some of these doors earlier than I probably should have, from doing a bit of level grinding at the beginning of the game. There are bosses to battle, but whatever you do, avoid fighting the enemies with a star on their health bar. Now, if you have something equipped to show additional map details, then these enemies will also show up on your map as a star. So try to avoid them for now. I'm pretty far in the game and I still can't beat any of these enemies. So at the very least, save before making an attempt. And as the game warns you, there is no autosave, but there are save rooms, so save first and save often. The other thing we need to talk about is the music. This game has some really awesome heavy tracks. Sound effects are good too. Everything fits the mood of the game very well. For visuals, we have sprite art, as you can see, but there is a good amount of detail in that sprite art with lots of additional visual effects like lighting, glowing, fire, sometimes distortion effects, and some of the background assets can be quite large, like big statues and massive chains. I think the levels have a lot of texture data to load, which makes loading take quite some time on the Nintendo Switch. Now, fortunately, the levels are lengthy enough that you aren't going to be switching levels too frequently, but just for comparison, I decided to time how long it would take to load the first game level. On the Nintendo Switch, it took 45 seconds to load into the entrance hall. On an Xbox Series, it took 7 seconds. So you could probably expect something similar to that on the PlayStation 5 as well. Anyway, it's just something to be mindful of. Of course, I'm no stranger to long load times. I've been playing on the PlayStation Vita a lot lately. I've been playing Demon Gaze because I want to compare it to the new Switch version, so be on the lookout for that soon. So I do already have all of the achievements in the game, but there are still a few areas I haven't even been to yet. And I still have to figure out how to beat all of those difficult star creatures. I've got tons of items I still want to collect. I want to finish those rare sets, and lots of mysteries that I still don't even have answers to yet. I'm really enjoying this game. MSRP is only $15, but if you are quick, you still might be able to get the early discount on it. I think for the first week or two, it's going to be discounted a little bit. It's definitely a mature game though, and I do appreciate that East Asia Soft is pushing the boundaries with what they can get away with publishing on the PlayStation and Xbox. But hey, if any of you have played this, let me know if you figure out how to defeat those star enemies. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.